All right. So my name is Josh Shields, and I am managing editor at the Association of Corporate Counsel, a global legal association serving the in-house community. I oversee the publication of the ACC Docket magazine, which is releasing our special supplement detailing the accomplishments of the 2020 class next week. I encourage you all to read more about these impressive 30-something. For the last 5 years, I have managed ACC's Top 10 30-somethings program, which recognizes the world's top people between the ages of 30 and 39. The caliber and diversity of the candidates has grown with each class, enriching the program and speaking to the distinction of the profession at large. More than 90 in-house counsel have been honored as top 30-somethings by ACC to date. 2020 honorees uphold the level of excellence that has defined the previous 8 classes. Now in its 9th year, the program is being managed by my colleague, Assistant Editor Danielle Maldonado, who will share more about this year's awards.
Thank you, Josh. Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. For the 3rd consecutive year, nominations for the top 10 30-somethings reached an all-time high. ACC received 245 nominations from 15 countries, from candidates from diverse backgrounds, industries, and small and large legal departments. 15 volunteer judges, some of whom are on the call with us today, rated the candidates on their innovative legal methods, ability to confront challenges, their global viewpoints, and their commitment to the in-house community and the pro bono field. The selected 10 in-house counsel embody these traits and more. I would now like to introduce ACC's President and CEO, Vita T. Richardson, who has a message for this year's honorees.
Great. Thank you so much, Danielle. And hello, everyone. It is my pleasure to be a part of this ceremony today. And while I regret that we are unable to gather in person, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to celebrate you virtually in the company of your family, friends, and colleagues, both near and far. I'm sure that they are very proud of you, and for very good reason. You are a group of honorees who exhibit an impressive range of skill and leadership, going above and beyond to find modern solutions to complex challenges. Many of you already hold the title of General Counsel and President, and all of you have distinguished yourselves as go-to executives within your organizations. You are a group of leaders who give back to your communities and who are committed to the highest values and ideals of our profession. What's really special about speaking to you via Zoom is being able to recognize some of you as familiar faces who generously volunteer your time with ACC. And I hope to get to know everyone who I may not have previously met through your future participation. Having had the opportunity to hear about your bios and list of accomplishments, we at ACC celebrate the level of excellence, professionalism, and collegiality that you exude as the best among us. In fact, ACC seeks to foster those traits among all in-house practitioners. And in your stories, we see role models for future generations of lawyers. So whether you followed a traditional or unconventional path to the road to in-house counsel, now, and still just in your 30s, your achievements have enabled you to stand at a unique place, where the road behind you reflects your impressive experience and the road ahead of you reflects your limitless potential. May you keep striving for excellence in all of your endeavors. ACC is pleased to join with all of the guests today to celebrate and spotlight rising stars like you. So congratulations to all of you, the ACC Top 30-somethings for 2020. Cheers to you.
Thank you, Vita. I would also like to thank Saul Ewing, Arstein & Lear, LLP, for their gracious and continuous sponsorship of the Top 10 30-somethings program for the last 8 years, and especially recognize them for their support in pivoting to a virtual award ceremony when the pandemic prevented us from honoring this class this year at the Corporate Counsel University. We have with us today Saul Ewing's Paul Malinowski and Zachary Burke, Paul is the firm's Director of Client Relations and also an active member in the New to In-House Committee. Zach is a partner in the firm's Boston office and is a commercial litigator and member of the firm's higher education, consumer financial services, and labor and employment practice groups. Paul and Zach will now present the awards.
Thank you, Danielle, for the introduction. On behalf of Saul Ewing, Arnstein, and Lair, we truly appreciate this honor. I just want to start by giving a shout out to another one of our colleagues here, Jen Bidell, who was supposed to be joining us today, but because of a last-minute emergency, wasn't able to present with me and Paul. Jen is a partner in our Philadelphia office in the firm's White Collar and Government Enforcement Practice Group. So while the COVID-19 pandemic has presented personal and professional challenges for many of us, it's also an opportunity to find solutions to these obstacles, something those being honored today are particularly adept at. The dedication and work ethic each of them brings to the table is commendable. We look forward to watching their careers develop as they continue to provide excellent legal service in the times ahead. Some quick housekeeping notes. We will read the names of the honoree, share a little about their accolades, and then the honoree will have the opportunity to say a few words in acceptance of their award. We ask that other attendees keep themselves on mute during this time, but feel free to use the chat box to share messages of congratulations. Now let's start with recognizing the 2020 Top 10 30-somethings. Paul?
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, thanks, Zach. So congratulations first to Asaf Alkobi of Teva Pharmaceuticals Industries. As Senior Director and Executive General Counsel of Global Corporate Affairs, Asaf is an integral part of Teva's international reach. He leverages his engagement in significant capital market transactions, IP settlements, and licensing agreements to identify new opportunities for the business. When negotiating a license agreement for a new pharmaceutical product projected for several Eastern Europe and Asia Pacific markets, Asaf recognized its potential to succeed in Latin American markets as well. The addition of the markets generated millions of dollars in sales for the company. Having a global overview of Teva's legal commitment allows Asaf to identify best practices that can be employed across jurisdictions. He created guidelines for onboarding general counsel and establishing legal departments in international markets. Dozens of new hires and existing GCs use these guidelines. Asaf also led efforts to modernize the shared services contract management platform. The system improved production volumes by over 50% while freeing up workloads of lawyers and decreasing external expenses. Asaf is also involved in pro bono and volunteer work. He's a member of Teva's Corporate Donation Committee and supports the organization's corporate social responsibility team. He's involved in a unique pro bono project with the Israeli Civic Leadership Association, where he provides assistance to nonprofits in preparing financial aid requests related to COVID-19 disruptions. He also mentors junior in-house counsel and law school graduates from diverse ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds, enjoying the opportunity to build up the next generation of in-house counsel. Now, Asaf, if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, ACC. This is really exciting. I believe that I'm the only one out of this amazing group of 30-something candidates that's from a different continent, and I'm humbled by that fact, and I think this is a great testament to ACC's global outreach. I know we have a really strong ACC chapter here in Israel, and we're thankful for the abundance of resources and opportunities that the ACC provides for us. These are very challenging times for us, and I'm very proud to be working at Teva, a company that serves 200 million patients across the world. Teva has been very proactive in supporting its employees and the healthcare community during this COVID crisis. I believe now this is the time for each and every one of us to really rise up and demonstrate social solidarity. And I'm thankful for my colleagues for the constant reinforcement of the notion. Lastly, and most importantly, I'd like to thank my dear family, not only for having to endure me during this work from home times, but also for providing me with the inspiration to wake up every morning and strive to be the best version of myself that I can be. Thank you all.
Well said. Zach?
Yep, I was just waiting. Oh, here we go. All right. Congratulations to Andrew Buddle of Tech Resources Limited. Andrew found a solution to maintaining Tech Resources' operational mining excellence across 4 countries while moving quickly to finalize contracts. He created multi-jurisdictional master services agreements, which are now used by more than 125 of Tech's partners. On average, the MSAs save Tech 3 weeks of negotiating time and significant corresponding labor and other costs for each major contract. The MSAs live in the Tech contract system, a plug-and-play model of contract management that Andrew designed with colleagues from Tech's major projects team. The system contains over 200 standard forms for procurement and contracts, from RFPs to formulaic letters of regret and change order forms in both English and Spanish. With over 100 Tech employees trained on the system, it receives more than 8,000 hits per month. After building the tools, Andrew helped the legal department use them as a single unit. He first created a knowledge management survey that identified opportunities for innovation and collaboration. The result? The Tech Legal Hub platform debuted in 2019, offering online resources, training, and various tools such as partially automated smart contract analysis and IP law infographics. With everyone working from home due to COVID-19, the Hub is getting more hits than ever. In his free time, Andrew coaches his children's sports teams and founded a co-ed soccer team for his church that participates in a religious tolerance league. He's also a committee member for BC Children's Hospital's Foundation's Mining for Miracles campaign. Congratulations, Andrew. And if you'd like to say a few words.
Sure, thanks very much, Zach and Vida and Josh and Danielle, and of course, the sponsor, Saul Ewing. This is a very kind gesture, very humbling and somewhat awkward, for me, because I work as part of a great team at Tech Resources. Very fortunate to be there, part of a collegial group that's very productive and that really lives out some of the values that the ACC stands for. But I just want to congratulate all the other award winners. It's very inspiring to hear little bits and pieces about your backgrounds. I look forward to hopefully getting to know you better in the future, hopefully working with you at different points. And just to echo one thing that Asaf said, which is, these are dark times for all of us. And I think we need to remember that we're, in interesting positions as legal counsel where we can be bright lights in dark corners. So just want to encourage everyone to keep going and push through this. And behalf of the ACC chapters in Canada, again, just want to say thank you to the ACC for all the leadership you provide, and look forward to continuing to be a contributor in the future.
Excellent, congratulations. Our next award winner is Julisa Edwards of the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust. Julisa Edwards' in-house career has been intertwined with nonprofit conservation work for over a decade. She has lent her legal expertise to protecting the Earth's resources from the forest to the sea, and now for the protection of wildlife habitats around the globe. During her time as senior attorney for the Natural Conservancy, Julisa pioneered a public interest trust that would allow the Costa Rican government to direct funds to its park system. The mechanism was the first of its kind in the country and is still in place 10 years later. Julisa also worked with the Costa Rican and US government officials to orchestrate the largest debt for nature swap in Costa Rica's history. Later, as Associate General Counsel for the Pew Charitable Trust, Julisa formulated the legal framework for a software to track illegal fishing. Julisa is committed to sharing her expertise and learning from colleagues in the nonprofit sector. As chair of the ACC Nonprofit Network, she organizes sessions for the ACC annual meeting, plans online programs on relevant topics like responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, recruits new members and leaders, secures sponsors, and authors articles for the ACC docket. In addition to her work with the ACC, Julisa volunteers with Reading Partners supporting English literacy for Spanish-speaking children, and she offers Spanish language support to St. Matthew's Cathedral. Unfortunately, Julisa could not join us today because she's attending another very important ceremony. Her husband is becoming an American citizen, so kind of important. We wish her well and congratulations, and both well wishes on this great day. We'll pass it on to you, Zach.
Thanks, Paul. All right, next on the list, congratulations to Bassel Korkor of Charles Schwab. Throughout his in-house career, Bassel has worked with technology and business partners to develop web interfaces, surveillance and monitoring tools, process automation, and data analytics to support corporate compliance. In one instance, Bassel worked with lawyers and developers to create a bot that monitors company data, identifying information flow and access history. In another, Bassel led business requirements for automated smart forms to support regulatory compliance disclosures. The enhanced forms resulted in better user experience and greater efficiency in reporting, monitoring, escalating, and remediating issues. Today, Bassel heads up Schwab's third-party risk management program, helping to manage and mitigate risks associated with outsourced services, products, supplies, and operations. Bassel stays up to date with industry regulations and helps businesses pivot accordingly. He has played lead roles both at Fidelity and Schwab, helping develop policies, procedures, and trainings as part of a comprehensive regulatory compliance program. Within the legal community, Bassel has served in various leadership roles on the American Bar Association section of International Law's Middle East Committee and is a fellow of the Texas chapter of the American Bar Foundation. He is also engaged in cross-company working groups for in-house counsel to exchange best practices for responding to legal challenges. Congratulations, Bassel.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Zach. I very much appreciate the recognition and Saul Ewing's support and the ACC's sponsoring of this event. I really loved hearing about the other awardees, and I look forward to meeting you all and getting to work with you more. I joined ACC pretty soon after I went in-house a few years ago, and I'm very glad I did and look forward to hopefully getting more involved with the activities. Having transitioned from big law to in-house, I love the opportunity to sort of try other things and flex other muscles that lawyers have. So we're not strictly in the legal realm. Once we go in-house, it's about supporting business and managing risk as well. So I really appreciate the recognition of that and the acknowledgement of that. And again, thank you. It's been a very, very busy time for us with everything going on out in the market and the world. And I appreciate the break here to see some of y'all and hear about what y'all are doing and to accept the recognition. Thank you.
It's nice that you have your own audience there. That's excellent.
Yes, yeah. They tend to follow me around. So thanks.
That's fantastic. So our next awardee, congratulations to Mei Lee Ortiz of Toyota Motor North America. As Managing Counsel of Employment and Labor, Mei dedicates her time to finding ways the company can better meet the needs of its employees and customers. One of Mei's first initiatives was designing a robust non-harassment program. The program incorporates online and in-person trainings and policies, scrubbed of legalese, with new formats like FAQs about the investigation process, an internal website with resources for supervisors, and videos. Mei also led Toyota North America's efforts to make its websites more accessible to customers with disabilities. She worked with stakeholders across the organization to identify, assess, and update Toyota's US websites for accessibility in alignment with industry standards such as the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.0. Outside of the office, she's involved in several volunteer and community organizations. As co-chair-elect of the Dallas Bar Association's Equal Access to Justice campaign, and social media chair for the Orchid Giving Circle. She raises funds for individuals and organizations in need. She teaches high schoolers about employment law through the ACC Dallas-Fort Worth chapter's Street Law program, coaches law students in moot court at the Southern Methodist University School of Law, and mentors young lawyers with the Dallas Asian American Bar Association, the Dallas Association of Young Lawyers, and the Dallas Women Lawyers Association. May, if you could say a few words.
You're on mute, May.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks for the lookout. This morning as I was getting my kids ready, my 2- and 4-year-old, I was racking my brain about like, how could I possibly articulate what this honor means to me? And then while I'm doing that, in candor, I'm not being very present. And so my 2-year-old's like, look, mommy, I went potty. And my 4-year-old is like, hey, I got dressed by myself. And then I had it. I had what I wanted to say. And that is, whether you're 2 or you're 4 or you're 39, I'm telling myself, I think I just eked in on this award. You want to be seen. And that's what this award means to me. Thank you to the ACC and our sponsor for the platform for visibility so that we can all be seen. Thank you to my colleagues, some of which are here today, and of course my leadership, for, quite frankly, creating a workplace where we are seen and heard and acknowledged, and really allowed to not only bring our whole selves to work, but really be our best selves. Thank you, of course, to my family, my friends, my mentors who are also here today. Gosh, I mean, without you, I wouldn't know the power of being seen. And then to a few of my mentees who came today, I especially want to invite you because I want you to know that I see you. Thank you so much for this award.
Congratulations. And before I move on, I just want to say how impressed I am with everybody on this call. It provides me, at least, with some good motivation to step up my game a little bit. So thank you for that. Up next, congratulations to Vincent Montalto of BASF Corporation. When Vincent first arrived at BASF, he embraced the new legal department initiatives addressing a recurrent legal problem, the billable hour. Using a data analytics approach, Vincent took commoditized litigation cases like a toxic tort case, where all the facts and allegations are similar, and compared outcomes between firms, adjusting for geography, billable rates, and law firm size and court system to find the most efficient firms. From this project, the BASF legal team created alternative fee arrangements with predictable, flat fees that are still in use 5 years later. Vincent is also piloting BASF's litigation finance program, a mechanism for the company to generate revenue and remove some risk from its litigation portfolio. Partnering with a litigation finance firm, Vincent developed a proprietary structure to grade the viability of each potential claim based on identified parties, relationship to the company, damages, and substantive liability points. As a leader of BASF's in-house legal diversity team, he helped to design a proprietary scorecard that measures law firms' diversity performance. BASF analyzes the scorecard each year, communicating feedback to the firms. As part of the outside counsel diversity program, BASF demands diverse staffing for all RFPs and for all teams doing BASF legal work. Vincent also leads BASF's summer legal intern program, which hires a diverse first-year law student to split time between BASF's Florham Park campus and its outside law firm. Congratulations, and Vincent, if you'd like to speak.
Yes, thanks so much, Zach. Thanks so much, Zach, and to the ACC and to Saul Ewing and fellow recipients. First, I'd like to say thank you for giving me an excuse to both shave and get dressed professionally for once today. So my wife really appreciates that. I'd also like to thank my family, my wife, who's like so many of ours, supporting us and our partners through all of this, despite having a very demanding job herself. I'd like to thank my kids for always reminding me to smile and take things a little less seriously. My 1-year-old Ella and 3-year-old Lincoln. I'd like to thank my colleagues at BASF who really support so much independent thinking and new initiatives, and very few times have told me no when I come up with suggestions. And just a comment about this group, and I think this group here shows how much the legal profession can be elevated. And, you know, back in 1850, Abraham Lincoln, when he was still a lawyer, not a politician, sort of spoke about the fact that lawyers had a bad reputation back then. And very little, you know, unfortunately has changed in pop culture. But to paraphrase, he said, if you're going to be a dishonest lawyer, choose to do something else, or choose to be honest in some other profession. What he was trying to say was, you know, we as lawyers, our professionals, are expected to be, hold ourselves to a higher standard. Not only honesty, but trustworthiness, civility, and honoring diversity. And, you know, I think that, you know, that's what I've tried to do. I think that's what a lot of the honorees try to do in their professions, and they really should be lauded for it. And I think when we build more trust and abandon sort of the adversarial nature of our profession, that we all could be better, and the law, quite frankly, can function a lot better for companies and for people. So thanks so much for this award, and I really appreciate the time and hope to meet everyone in person in the not too distant future.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Congratulations. Our next award winner is Ahmed S. Musa of Purus Pharmaceuticals. As Senior Vice President of Corporate Operations and General Counsel, Ahmed combines his background in molecular biology with his expertise in intellectual property and the legal framework in which biotech companies operate to support Purus's mission of developing and bringing to market next-generation therapies for cancer and respiratory diseases. Ahmed has helped Purus structure and negotiate collaborations with other pharmaceutical companies to accelerate and expand the company's drug development efforts. For one particular partnership that could ultimately be worth up to $2.1 billion, Ahmed led the effort to craft unique and complex licensing structures for this deal. Ahmed has spoken at a number of conferences and seminars focused on intellectual property and licensing issues, and is a member of the Boston Intellectual Property Law Association, the Licensing Executive Society, the Society for Corporate Governance, and the Mass Bio General Counsel Roundtable. In his spare time, Ahmed's efforts are focused on the two enterprises he co-founded with his sister and father, respectively. Shamsi Na, a Cairo-based social enterprise, creates affordable solar water heaters for energy-poor communities in Egypt. Icarus Pharmaceuticals, a preclinical biotechnology company, focuses on treating sickle cell disease. Unfortunately, Ahmed could not be in attendance today, but we wish him congratulations and are impressed with all of his accomplishments. I'll pass on to you, Zach.
Thanks, Paul. Congratulations to Adam Nagorski of UL. As General Counsel of Amerigo, Adam oversaw nearly 30 subsidiaries stretched across Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and the Americas. He searched for ways to build a legal department that protected the company while helping the business remain nimble and customer-focused. Under Adam's direction, all of the Amerigo's contract templates were rewritten from scratch, better protecting the company while being clear and fair to its clients. Adam also developed risk management guidelines, which became a resource employees could directly come to for help resolving thorny challenges to the business. In order to encourage speedy dispute resolution, the new contract agreements assigned financial risk to rejecting settlement offers. When Amerigo was acquired by UL, Adam negotiated the merger. After the integration, Adam continues to support Amerigo while taking on new responsibilities across the UL enterprise, including helping it identify and mitigate against risks presented by new services or acquisitions. In addition to his primary job at UL, Adam uses his in-house legal skills by volunteering as agency counsel to SAFE, his city's women's and children's shelter, and by serving as outside general counsel to Austin Bold FC, a professional soccer team. He is also president-elect of the ACC Austin chapter, a longtime board member of his local chapter of the Anti-Defamation League, and is active in civil rights organizations. Congratulations, Adam, and if you'd like to say a few words, that would be great.
Thanks, Zach. And thank you to Sol Ewig and to ACC for this honor. This was already a big honor, and then hearing from and hearing about the other awardees, I'm even more humbled to be included in this group, so congratulations to you all as well. And it's great to get this award from ACC, which has been such an important resource to me, both professionally and personally. I found that since going in-house, I've really leaned on the ACC community to not just help me in building out my in-house career, but also I found during these strange times to be really looking to the fellow ACC members for friendship and companionship during the quarantines and whatnot. So that's been a really great group to have landed in. Thanks also for this really cool mug from another local Austin company, Yeti. It's a really nice reminder to carry this forward with me. And finally, I just want to thank my colleagues at UL and my family as well, including my daughter, whose birthday it is today. So thanks again.
Oh, happy birthday to her. Excellent.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Adam. So our next award winner is Tyrone H. Thomas, Jr. of Invenergy, LLC. Tyrone negotiated protocols with each of the major national title companies that outlined how they and Invenergy should collectively respond to title challenges on future projects. This framework allows project teams at Invenergy to better forecast and address potential issues, which greatly reduces the possibility that a transaction is derailed in the future. Recognizing that improvement is always an option, Tyrone organized several title summits last year to start a discussion about expanding the Invenergy title guidelines and to further strengthen the partnership between those companies and Invenergy. Tyrone is constantly looking for ways to contribute to the company's success. He's been integral to the establishment of a comprehensive legal operations framework, the creation of a legal onboarding and continuing education process, the rollout of a suite of internal forms and processes for use by the legal department, and the launch of the company's affinity group for persons of African ancestry. Tyrone also manages a team of 15 people who collectively work on hundreds of projects. Throughout his career, he has volunteered countless pro bono hours, including for the Washington Legal Clinic for the Homeless and the DC Bar Pro Bono Program, where he helped clients through landlord-tenant disputes. With the organization IUDA, Tyrone helped clients apply for permanent resident status, and with the organization Bet Zedek, he helped clients apply for Holocaust pensions. And off script a bit, but personally, I had the opportunity to work with Tyrone for the Newton In-House Network on the leadership committee a few years ago, and really found him to be a great person to work with. And it's always nice to see a name you know win an award. So Tyrone, if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you to Danielle and Josh and Zach and everyone with the ACC and at Saul Ewing. I think to echo the fellow honorees who are all just amazing as I'm listening to descriptions of their accomplishments. It is a humbling honor, but I also think that it is a really good positive feedback loop for a lot of us who I think are just pushing on a daily basis. And oftentimes, you level set when people are pushing hard that they should be pushing that hard, and you don't necessarily take a moment to recognize the result of that effort. I always think I have a tickler on my calendar for every Wednesday at 2 p.m. to send a nice note to someone who's doing something well. And it's in part because I think it's a good idea, and in part because I'm oftentimes too busy to remember to do it. And so it sort of pokes me to send that note. And the responses that you get from some of the people who might get a note once every 6 months or so is just groundbreaking. Like, that little thing sort of helps keep them going, keep them pushing, keep them contributing to, the legal community or whatever other community they're in if they're not a legal professional. So I appreciate this. I'm honored. I'm honored to be in the cohort with the fellow honorees. And I'm also just happy that my wife sees that all of the calls that I'm on during the quarantine that are driving her crazy, as she works at a desk next to mine, pay some dividends in the end. So thanks, everyone.
Congrats again, Tyrone. That's a really good sentiment. Up next, congratulations to Maggie Warren of Vertifor Inc. Soon after joining Vertifor, Maggie approached her general counsel with a plan to streamline the contracting process. Within months, all sell-side contracts were integrated into the company's new contract repository, which was later integrated with the CRM system. Today, any seller can access the customer contracts directly and instantly know the risk associated with the contract without consulting the legal department. For her next challenge, Maggie championed the creation of the Vertifor Data Governance Program. Vertifor is doubly affected by the California Consumer Privacy Act, first as a corporate entity, and secondly as a provider of insurance software. Maggie, working alongside the risk management team, revamped the data classification system for corporate data, updated the records retention policy, created a data use and handling policy, as well as an internal personal information privacy policy. She also rewrote privacy statements with worldwide privacy regulations in mind, making sure every Vertifor solution gives the highest level of protection to the customer, the company, and the individual. Maggie believes in paying it forward by supporting educational opportunities for and alongside other lawyers and law students. She managed an extensive internship program for law students at Vertifor, wherein she directly supervises at least one, but sometimes multiple law students during a semester, creating an army of future in-house lawyers that are business savvy and can provide sound legal advice at the pace of the industry they serve. Congratulations, Maggie, and we'd love to hear from you if you want to say a few words.
Thank you. I am incredibly humbled to receive this award from ACC and Saul Ewing. And I couldn't have done it without two teams. You know, first, my team at work. I have we're a small legal team, but I have, you know, my mentor and boss, Janie Rothman's here with me today. And we also have another member of our legal team, Foster Sayers, and I just couldn't have done any of this work without their support on a daily basis. And the second team is my team here at home. I really couldn't do it without, you know, my husband and my children supporting me. There've been a lot of late nights at the office, and, you know, somehow or another, I come home to this fabulous support team here. So super grateful, and just humbled to be a part of a group such as all this. This has been great to learn about everybody else's accomplishments, and I'm just incredibly humbled to be considered part of this team.
Thank you, Maggie. So that concludes the list of the honorees. So although this, first of all, let's do, we'd like to congratulate once more all of the top 20, the 2020 top 10 30-somethings. And while this may be a little bit awkward, if people don't mind unmuting themselves, and we can just give everybody a round of applause, that would be great.
Congrats, everyone. Cheers.
So again, it's been a pleasure to present you with these awards virtually. Now, to close the ceremony, we've asked a former top 30-something to join us today. Calling in from Toronto, Canada, Melissa Rader is the Director, Legal and Privacy Officer of G Adventures, the world's largest small group adventure travel company. Melissa was a recipient of the Top 10 30-somethings Award in 2019 and served on the judging panel for this year's award. Melissa?
Thank you, Zach. Many thanks to Saul Ewing, Arnstein, and Lear for their generous sponsorship of these awards, and to the ACC for inviting me to speak with you all today. Congratulations, Top 10 30-somethings. I am so happy to be here celebrating your accomplishments. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to be involved in the judging process for the awards this year. I genuinely enjoyed reading through your nominations and learning about this cohort. What I can tell you from my time learning about each of you through the judging process is that this group is comprised of individuals who are not just amazing attorneys, but wonderful humans. Reading about the changes you have enacted, not only within your organizations, but also in your communities, in the world, and for the future, was awe-inspiring. You should be tremendously proud of yourselves. I'm so proud to call you my colleagues. This year, you had some tough competition. We received a large number of nominations from impressive candidates across the globe. take a moment to reflect on and enjoy being the best of the best. Don't let it feed your ego, but do let it fuel your desire to continue to improve, grow, and develop. I'd like to tell you a little more about what winning this award meant to me last year. As a 30-something general counsel, I am often the youngest person in the room or at the table during negotiations with senior business leaders or opposing counsel. I'm sure that many people in this group have found themselves in similar situations and around similar tables. You're often dealing with folks with big personalities, loud voices, and loads of experience. In these situations, I always prided myself on being the most prepared. I'll admit that I enjoyed that triumphant little feeling when the senior partner on the other side of a file realized that they'd made a huge mistake. That after quickly Googling me, pre-top 10 30-somethings, they assumed they could wing it and strong-arm their way through a negotiation with a young, petite, soft-spoken millennial. Just look at her Instagram, I imagine them saying to the executive team as they sulked into the boardroom, hat in hands. It's just photos of dogs, pizza, and Taylor Swift concerts. Now that you're a top 10 30-something, they will see you coming. Google will reveal a smartly written profile in the ACC docket that tells them just how sharp, how capable, and how excellent you truly are. The element of surprise is gone. You're a recognized rising star in your industry and your community. For me, kicking off that next phase of personal growth and development meant gaining the confidence to take a swing at a role as the vice chair of the Canadian Association of Tour Operators, an industry organization serving the travel industry and known to be an old boys club. After winning that board seat and gaining the trust of senior leaders in the travel industry, I'm working on our lobbying efforts to protect the jobs of thousands of travel professionals locally and internationally. I'm also speaking on panels this year for the first time as a GC, sharing my knowledge and experience with others, even if it's on Zoom in my yoga pants these days. My call to action for each of you is this: level up. Take your seat at the table, own it, and bring others up along with you. Be a mentor. Get involved with ACC, starting with your peers in this amazing group of 10. Keeping in touch with people I have met through my connections to ACC and the Top 10 30-somethings award, whether it's been to bounce ideas off each other or talk trash about sports. Remember sports? ACC has been a great way to make meaningful connections with people who are responding to the same professional and personal challenges. These meaningful connections are even more valuable during this challenging time as your organizations look to you for guidance and advice as a legal and business advisor. This award is a reminder that your colleagues in the legal community believe in your ability to lead and continue to achieve great things. I'm looking forward to seeing what you accomplish and who you nominate next year. One more thing, and this is important. Don't forget to take a moment to pause, reflect, and celebrate your accomplishment. Some of you have family, friends, or partners joining us on Zoom today, and I'm sure they are tremendously proud of you. While current circumstances mean that we can't all be together in person, I encourage you to reach out to your fellow award winners, to myself, and to the lovely folks at ACC and Saul Ewing, Arnstein, and Lair for a Zoom, coffee, or a chat, and create a community with those who are here today. Working for a travel company, I've had the pleasure of connecting with people from around the world, and one of the best things I've learned was during a random chat with one of our Swiss Alps mountain guides. One of his favorite things to tell his groups as they prepare to climb Mont Blanc is this: you might go fast alone, but together you'll go far. Congratulations.
Thank you, Melissa, for those inspiring words. I wish all of our awardees the best of luck in all of their endeavors, and I hope that you can look to your peers in this group and the Greater Top 30s Alumni Network as a source of encouragement and support, especially during these times. Okay.
Let's raise a glass or a Yeti to the 2020 Top 10 30-somethings. Cheers.
Thank you all for attending, and please don't forget to nominate next year. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, hopefully meeting you in person soon.
Thank you, everyone.